PONIES is fully streaming, and of course, you are Ray. What were you initially told about this character?
Oh, what was I initially? I first got the first two episodes, the scripts for the first two episodes, which actually didn't give a lot away about who Ray was. Uh, and in one of my audition scenes for the original tape, there was this scene with Twyla where I talk about why I'm a spy and how I'm an ideologue. And that was very informative to the character. Just sort of this endlessly optimistic, endlessly loyal guy who has managed to survive in this treacherous, backstabbing world that, I mean, if he wasn't so good at the job, he would need to find a different profession and fast, but somehow he's managed to make it. Uh, so it was this really cool character of, being a fish out of water, and yet in some of the most powerful rooms and actually being a pretty decent spy himself. It's just a matter of compartmentalizing his life where he's got his job and then he's got his family life, and neither twain shall ever mix. And yeah, so that was how I initially approached the character. And the more scripts that I got, the more confounding it gets with his moral compass and how he's going to navigate his loyalties.
It's a good show to where you don't fully understand the character until the last episode as the
I know,
audience
right?
yourself. So I imagine getting the scripts too is the same way.
Very exciting.
Yeah. And of course, as Ray, you have a complete visual transformation. Did seeing yourself like that for the first time help you kind of get more into character?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. When I had a producer session with Susanna and David before I got the role, and it was like kind of a final audition. And before that, I was talking to my fiance and I was saying, there's unfortunately I'm not old enough, or I don't feel like the role, but I would love to play this. And then I got on the phone with David and he said, "Can you grow a mustache?" And I was like, if you think that'll work, sure, I can try to grow a mustache. Turns out I can grow a very bushy mustache.
Mhm.
Thank you to my grandfather. Uh, and it was, yeah, no, the stash not only informed the character, it sort of informed how I lived, how I dressed for the next 6 months. Like I was putting on jackets and thrift store finds that I would not be anywhere close to with my clean shaven face. I really became a different person in Budapest with the stash.
No, it was shocking because, looking up, knowing who you are, and then seeing the character, I'm like, am I sure that's him? I don't think it is, but of course it is.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
And so right away, we obviously find out that Ray is married to Cheryl, played by Vic Michaelis. How would
Uh,
you describe their relationship?
uh, uh, Stuck. A little bit like they obviously they got married, and I do think they have tremendous love for each other. I don't think it was a forced marriage or anything like that. I think they started with good intentions. But as anyone who has ever been in a long-term relationship can tell you, there comes a point where you start dating within the idea of the relationship as opposed to actually dating the other person. And
Mhm.
so I think this is a relationship where they just got stuck in that phase of being more in love with the relationship itself than being in love with each other.
Mhm.
And if they could step back, if they could just cut through the red tape and figure out what's really going on with each other, I think, they could maybe stop arguing quite so much. But I think there's a comfort in the status quo of we will argue, Cheryl will win, and
Mhm.
then we will move on.
Mhm.
And that is so much more comfortable for a guy like Ray.
Mhm.
And I'm pointing to myself a little bit because I've been, guilty of this, of
Mhm.
instead of going for the problem, you just want to not be confrontational. It's easier to live in discomfort than interrupt the status quo and create more discomfort, even though that might lead to a better result. So that was a great dynamic to play with, especially with such good writing, comedic writing by Susanna and David and Carolyn. I mean, like we were in some really capable hands.
Oh, yeah. So, of course, with Cheryl, there are some very big revelations that come to light in the final episode. Prior to reading the script, did you know or get a feeling what this twist would be?
No, no. I got the script pretty early when
Mhm.
when I landed in Budapest, or no, before I'd gone to Budapest. So I knew.
Mhm.
But obviously for Ray, I can't play any of that because Ray doesn't know. Ray's gonna have to find out at some point.
Mhm.
But if I were to ever play any kind of suspicion, then that's doing a disservice to the incredible job that Vic is doing of playing a double agent. Like, there can't be an ounce of suspicion on them because if there is, it's not a very good double agent.
Yeah.
So no, it was a joy to get to watch Vic do that, and it was also a joy to get to be blissfully unaware as a character.
Oh yeah. So of course this the audience is aware of this, but like you said in the story world, everyone is kind of clueless as of now. So how do you think this sets up a new dynamic between Ray and Cheryl?
Oh, I'm
For
so
season
excited. Oh God.
two?
I am so hopeful because to put a guy like Ray, who is allergic to confrontation, who is so, I mean, the entire show is about challenging people's moral compasses.
Mhm.
And Ray is the anchor in all of that. He is the only person who is rock solid in what he believes and rock solid in who he trusts and will not be swayed.
Mhm.
Um, he knows what is right, and he knows what he is doing is right, and he knows that the side that he's on is right, despite the incredible plot lines in this show that delve into, everyone is fighting for themselves, just certain sides have better PR. Like that's a Vic Michaelis line. That's not me. But like the show does such a good job at showing the moral gray areas, and Ray is somehow still alive in the CIA with an absolute black and white view of the world. And I'm so excited to see how this brand new context in such a personal, intimate part of his life will affect how he acts, how he takes agency perhaps in his life, who he ends up trusting.
Mhm.
It's going to be really, we leave the season with him making
Yeah.
one of the deepest promises you can make to another person, which is, I will always believe you. No matter what, I will be on your side. And that, if he finds out, that is combating his entire life's work, the promise that he just made. So, I mean, yeah, man,
Yeah.
I wanna play that.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. Like for a possible season two, that is what I'm most like looking forward to, kind of seeing how they work with this, what his reaction would be, because it could go either way with him wanting to support her
Good.
still. And oh yeah. So what would you like to possibly see explored for Ray in a season two, kind of
Oh,
outside of that relationship?
I want more car chases. I want him to be on the ground more. I want to, you're part of a spy show, you want to do the spy stuff.
Oh yeah.
So, like I adore the character. I love wearing those glasses and that mustache. Like I think it's so funny. And I think anytime Ray does anything serious, there's kind of an inherent comedy in it because of just how he looks. Like I don't know, in the same way that when you watch old movies, like from the 50s or something, and someone sounds like this, and they're
Mm.
giving a heartbreaking monologue, but there's a little bit of you can't be serious. This is how you sound. It's the same with this 70s look, just trying to. So I would love to, have more action and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, why not?
So you have posted some hilarious behind the scenes photos and videos.
Ah!
And it's just so funny to because it's the complete opposite of what the atmosphere is on the actual show. What was your favorite memory from set?
Oh man. There are so many. Harriet Walter is one of my favorite actors, and we wanted her in our group text, and she just flat, and I have it on video where she just goes, "No, I don't think I want to be a part of that, actually, no." And I just died over that. I don't know. I made a lot of songs for this show.
Mhm.
I wrote a lot of silly songs for this show, and so seeing the cast celebrate that, and we had a live karaoke night one night where I got the band from episode 4 back together, and we learned all these songs, and people sung live karaoke with us playing backup. I DJ'd a lot of parties. However much fun it seems like,
Mhm.
it multiply that by 10. It was really the best. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful show, and it really shows kind of all how close you all got.
Oh, I'm so glad that it comes through the screen. That's very nice.
Definitely. What was one of your most memorable moment, like scenes filming?
Hmm.
Or-
Um, I mean, not to be a broken record here, but to any scene opposite Harriet Walter was pretty surreal. And that's not saying that Amelia and Haley and Adrian and Artyom and Petro and Vic aren't incredible, you know, titans of acting in their own right. But I just got used to them. Um, I'm kidding. Uh, I think the car chase with Harriet Walter in the back
Mhm.
and me just kind of, being starstruck the whole time was, I mean, that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then kind of in that same vein, do you have a scene that you feel most proud of the work you put into it?
Yeah. Oh, you know what I'm really proud of? And this is kind of just this is a show-wide thing.
Mhm.
There's a real, obviously, actors are actors for a reason because we love to act. And I think there is such an impulse to make I always phrase it like this with Ray,
Mhm.
where Ray has his own TV show happening.
Mhm.
And it's very important to him. It's a family drama. And then there's a bunch of paperwork he has to do with the CIA.
Mhm.
And most of it is never seen on screen in this TV show. And I was very proud that I was able to, I think, not be precious about my screen time. I didn't try to act the most that I could when I was there. Like if I'm leaving the screen, I'm going off to do something more important than what I have to do here. And
Mhm.
there's something about the show being about these underdogs, Amelia and Haley, who feel underestimated. And in order to make them feel underestimated, Adrian and I both have to, be kind of half one foot in, one foot out, invested in their storyline. Right. So it was this really interesting thing of like being so excited to be on set, but then having to let that go and just treat it like another normal day. And I think that showed up well in the work. I was proud of that.
No, it definitely does. Because I think every single character, like when you're watching it, you care. Like, so when you're off screen, you're interested in that story still. Like, you're excited to get to those scenes. You're not
Yeah.
necessarily just looking forward to, main characters on screen waiting for that story. You find yourself invested in every single one. So that
And
definitely
that's a
does make sense.
huge testament to the writing as well.
Oh, yeah.
They wrote such a well-paced show and with such compelling storylines.
No, yeah. So what do you think about ponies will captivate audiences?
The cliffhangers.
Mhm.
Every episode has a
Yeah.
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I mean, I've gotten a lot of texts from friends saying like, "Hey, I wanted to support you and like watch the first episode and then I accidentally watched all eight."
Hmm.
You know, it
Yeah.
stops being for my friends, it stops being a show that I'm in
Mhm.
and starts being just a really fun show.
No, yeah.
Uh, I think it has some really unique perspectives on patriotism, on spy work, on propaganda,
Mhm.
on revisionist history. I think it's got some really, really nuanced and interesting themes,
Mhm.
which are surprising in such a fun and fast-paced and comedic thriller. So I think that's what I got.
Oh yeah, no, I think it balances like that comedy and that drama so well. Like in an instant, you're like laughing, then you're like, wait, now it's serious. Like I need to
Oh,
sit.
exactly.
That's
Exactly.
very good job. And then, what would you like to say to fans and supporters of you and your work?
Oh, thanks. Thanks. I don't know. You get you if you're a supporter of this show, then thank you for watching. Tell everybody to watch. And if you're a supporter of me, thanks. That's really nice.